What's up, y'all? J. Roos Theory. Who do you guys like? Jake Paul, Nate Diaz. I think on my other platform N.W.J, I think I originally had picked Jake Paul, but now that I've seen some interviews and learned more about Nate Diaz, I think I might be going with Nate Diaz. Now, I know Jake Paul usually picks people that, I don't want to say he knows he can beat, but that won't give him such a tough time. But Nate Diaz has a big boxing background. In fact, he boxed before he did MMA. He's from Stockton, California. Kinda gotta go with the Cali boy, since I'm from California. Nah, that's not why. But I just think Nate Diaz is definitely the tougher guy of the two. And he has extremely, extremely long arms, kind of like Dillian White, and that can present a problem. It's not going to present a problem for AJ in the rematch, but it can present a problem for someone like Jake Paul. And I just think Nate Diaz might not, I was going to say he might not outwork. I was going to say Nate Diaz might not outwork Jake Paul, but now that I think about it, Jake Paul doesn't throw that many punches himself. So he might outwork Jake Paul, and I believe he will definitely hurt Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul's hitting the canvas this fight. Don't know if he'll get stopped, but I think he will definitely be touching the canvas. Who do you guys like? Do you guys even care? I know a lot of people are sick of this stuff with Jake Paul and all that, but hey, it's a boxing match. I like to watch fights. Not into the bare knuckle thing. You know, them dudes be looking crazy after fights, missing teeth, and a lot of MMA fighters get that cauliflower ear too. But that bare knuckle stuff is brutal. I don't think that's a longevity sport at all. But if you like Jake Paul, why do you like Jake Paul? Do you think he has better technique? Do you think Nate Diaz has better technique? I noticed watching Nate Diaz, when he had his hands up, he kind of had his elbow out a little far, and he's got to tuck that in. You know, how hard is that? I just hope, whoever's training him tells him that. Now, I understand Nate Diaz is sparred with the great Andre Ward, so I'm sure he can learn from him. I understand that Shane Mosley's in the camp of Jake Paul this time, so we'll see what happens with that. You can look at Shane Mosley and tell he keeps himself in great shape. I saw him holding the pad for Jake Paul, so he's got to teach him defense, of course, and he's got to teach him better punch placement. So if your punch placement is good, you don't necessarily have to throw as many punches as your opponent, because you just make the ones that you throw count. Kind of what Terrence Crawford does. He doesn't waste many punches, but when he throws, he makes sure they count. He makes sure that the punches count. He's not going to spend a lot of punches just wasting energy, just to be looking active when it's really not doing anything but taking your energy. So this will be interesting. It's on DAZN pay-per-view. What's up with DAZN? When they first started, their thing was, I believe it was $9.95 or $9.99 a month for big fights. Gradually, they moved up, I think, to $19, and now they're trying to charge pay-per-view. I thought the whole point was so you wouldn't have to pay these exorbitant pay-per-view prices. Sure, it's not as expensive as a lot of pay-per-view fights. It's not like $70, at least not this one. Who knows? Other ones might have been with Canelo, whoever, but come on, DAZN, you've gotten away from your original reason for coming out. You're supposed to be out there for the boxing people, the people that don't make $1 million an hour. But I guess they're like, well, we have to pay these fighters and we can't afford it off $9.99 a month. But that's not my problem. You guys came out with a certain what do you call it? I don't want to say agenda, but you guys came out with a certain reason for being out there. That was the reason for us to subscribe. I just wish fights would kind of go back to regular network television. I'm sick of streaming. I'm sick of buffering. I just want regular fights that are easy to watch. And yeah, that's my take. J. Roos theory. LSR forever. Go check out the video I did on my N.W.J platform. I talk about Timothy Bradley pretty much said it perfectly what he thought about the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight. Now we can say Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight, and since Crawford won, undisputed. But he was saying a lot of things right on point. How Errol Spence and him tried to look like age Terrence Crawford out, but they don't realize some things get better with age. Why does it just have to be wine that gets better with age? A fighter can do it too if he takes care of himself. Y'all put too much emphasis on youth. Youth is not everything. It's definitely not. There's no way in the world I'm letting a 21-year-old beat up on me. That's not happening ever. I don't care what his background is. You put me in a room with a 21-year-old, I'll be the one walking out. He'll be the one calling the hospital. That's just me. Anyway, yeah, go check out Timothy Bradley. I think his interview was on FightHype.com here on YouTube. I'm off topic once again. I do that a lot, huh? Because I like talking to y'all. Anyway, it's the J. Roos Theory. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe, and be fearless. Yay.